coming back, bouncing back right now? I mean, where's the focus at?
The Raiders.
Well, what about you personally?
The Raiders. They're a good team. We didn't play well. Didn't execute. Didn't play well. It was us. I was Packers fan once. Here. Good one. No. We know what we have to do. We play bad.
What do you think about the rumors that are surrounding Harbaugh?
Look at his resume. You'll get your answer.
It's been a rough week for Colin Kaepernick after struggling in a home loss to the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. And the criticism keeps coming. Former NFL scout John Middlecoff asked several NFL executives and quarterback coaches who they rather have under center going forward, Derek Carr or Colin Kaepernick. All five picked Derek Carr, even though the Raiders are 1-11. Middlecoff said the consistent sentiment is Kaepernick may just be what he is, and some of his fundamental flaws will not change, accuracy, touch, over time. Kaepernick's frenetic play is just something his coach and skill guys will have to live with. It may not be something that changed. He will always be a guy that forces you to live with the bad because the good is so special. Carr and Kaepernick were drafted 3 years apart, but both were taken as the 36th overall pick. All right, so here's the question for you, Skip Bayless. Is the better quarterback in the bag?
Which one?
And as we put, that would be Colin or Derek.
Thank you. Stephen A. Smith, I like young Derek Carr from what I've seen of him. High character, high velocity, high caliber. But I'm going to stick with Colin Kaepernick here. And I'll tell you why. You know, I'm all about money time.
Yep.
About postseason, about playoffs. What do you do when it really, really counts? And I cannot take away from Colin Kaepernick what he has done in the postseason because he is 4-2 in playoff games. And the two losses were a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game that went to the last throw. Both games went to the last throw. Now, he didn't pull off either last throw, but he got them to a position to win a Super Bowl and to get to a Super Bowl. And his QBR, again, scaled 0 to 100, in the postseason is 82.7. I'm going to keep that in my bank. Now, do I like what's happened to Colin Kaepernick this year? I do not. He has regressed. I'm seeing, dare I bring this name up, but I'm seeing a little bit of RG3 syndrome here, in that I'm seeing a quarterback who used to beat you fairly consistently with his legs, and they have taken the called runs pretty much out of the repertoire. So he's trying to be mostly a pocket passer. He's suffering a little brain lock. He's lost some confidence. He's lost some feel. He's lost his way. He's getting sacked way too much. He's lost a little accuracy. He's just lost some swag in the pocket because he used to be able to devastate you on cue with his legs as he did the Green Bay Packers and that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, at Lambeau in the playoffs just last year. Now, again, Aaron Rodgers was just coming back from an injury, so maybe he wasn't quite there yet. But the one thing I don't like lately about Colin Kaepernick, speaking of the high character that is Derek Carr, I don't like the chip on his shoulder. It seems to grow by the interview. He's so defensive. He's so thin-skinned. It's like he's mad at the world because the world is out to get him. No, they're just questioning your performance. If you play, you shut them all up. And and again, I'm sure he gets a lot of that from his head coach. It's always us against the world with Jim Harbaugh. But in this case, there's one more level of maturity that he needs to reach. But on the ability to play at the highest level at his position when it matters most, I have seen him do it not just once or twice, but 6 times I have seen him do it. And I'm going to stick with that, even though if you're just doing prototype, young Derek Carr is prototypical. He's got it all, but will he live up to that? Could he do it in the postseason the way this kid has?
The answer would be no. He cannot do it because he's contaminated by the atrocity that is the Oakland Raiders. And I think it's an absolute insult to Colin Kaepernick to bring up any member of the Oakland Raiders in the same breath as anybody with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm trying to tell you right now, the equipment manager on the San Francisco 49ers should be deemed more valuable than anybody on the Oakland Raiders.
Well, that's not.
They are horrible.
But I mean, he's got 14 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. That's pretty good for a bad team.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying in terms of Derek Carr and his requisite skills. They've got people. Listen, my man Justin Tuck is on the Oakland Raiders. I'm certainly not disrespecting that two-time Super Bowl champion. I'm simply saying that the Oakland Raiders are such an abomination. We shouldn't even be thinking about any skilled players on their squad because they're all so contaminated. We can't tell what the hell is going on in Oakland.
So how abominable was it that they beat the Kansas City Chiefs?
And that's why the Kansas City Chiefs might miss the playoffs.
That's
and they
right.
should be ashamed of themselves for losing that game. Because the Oakland Raiders are a joke. They need to clean house. They need to get rid of everybody. And anybody that's wearing a uniform for the Oakland Raiders need to take a deep shower, take their uniform, bleach it, do something, and just wipe all the stench from being a member of the Raiders away.
Charles Woodson
Charles Woodson, because let me tell you something, it's just that bad. It's that bad. That city, as great as those fans are, it is a damn shame that this football team is that disgraceful, period. Now, back to Colin Kaepernick. One of the other reasons I will defend him is because I see an offensive line that doesn't seem to be nearly as formidable as it was in the past. I see Vernon Davis, and let me tell you something. This dude came out. We all raved about his abilities, his athleticism, etc. I saw him on CNBC one time talking about some investments that he's made. I wish he'd invest more in his game because I don't see 1,000-yard season of receptions on his resume at all. I see a guy that's not getting open the way that he used to. I see him with Bolden, who I love, but has dropped his share of passes this year. Crabtree has dropped his share of passes this year. Frank Gore doesn't seem to be, there's no elusivity there. And the workhorse that he used to be, that doesn't seem to be there. That's why Carlos Hyde is even more significant than he has been in the past. I see Colin Kaepernick, by and large, being a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, he can't block for himself, and he can't catch his own passes. Okay, and he can run the football sometimes, and sometimes it seems to be the best running option that they have, at least from time to time. But I think when you have all of those elements combined with the fact that Bowman is out on defense, Willis is out on defense, Alden Smith was gone for the first 9 or 10 games of the year, that put more pressure on the offense to produce because the defense, while formidable and still very good, certainly wasn't a smash mouth and as elite as they had been over the previous 3 years. All of these things are things that Colin Kaepernick had to work with. So I don't want to hear any comparisons to Derek Carr. All these executives that are running their mouth. Let's take all of that stuff into consideration. Consider what Colin Kaepernick has had to work with and has had to work against. And shut your mouths and keep watching. Because if this man had the requisite weapons he's supposed to have, I think Colin Kaepernick would be more formidable.
Okay, just hypothetically, if right now you put Derek Carr on the trade market and you put Kaepernick on the trade market, who would attract the largest offer?
I think it would depend on the team, but I'm willing to bet that it would be Kaepernick because of the dual threat that he is, because of his durability, and because of the fact that he has shown that he will show up in big moments. Now, he may not always be pretty doing it, but he will find a way to keep you competitive and in more instances than not, beat you. I'm not knocking Derek Carr. We met him. We like him. I know he's got some skill set, but he plays for the Oakland Raiders, who have been nothing short of irrelevant. I don't even know what Derek Carr. As far as I'm concerned, Derek Carr is still in college because that's what the Oakland Raiders look like. Barely a college football team. I mean, the top 4 teams in the nation: Florida State, Alabama, Oregon. All right, TCU. They probably beat the Oakland Raiders.
Well, I'm with you on this, as I just spoke, but I'm here to tell you, Derek Carr would get the biggest offer on the open market.
Wow.
And why is that?
Because he's prototype. He's everything that most NFL people want.
Okay, that's fair.
He's a pocket passer.
Okay, that's fair. You know. If you're telling me that's the reason why, I'm just thinking in terms of level of production. But it's just like with Andrew Luck. I mean, he's prototype too. That's why I loved Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
I was just saying about him. That was good.
It just did dawn on me. Colin Kaepernick has beaten Aaron Rodgers twice in the playoffs?
So he must be perfect.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Who's better?
We all know that Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Aaron Rodgers.
Well, this must be the baddest man.
Aaron Rodgers. No. So what? You lost the game. Football's a team game.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Rodgers is going to go down as the greatest quarterback in NFL history when all is said and done.
Because he's the MVP right now.
Oh,
correct?
Easily.
Even though Tom Brady threw Gronkowski the winning touchdown pass?
I'm sorry, who won the game?
Well, Gronkowski couldn't control it.
I think it was the Packers. I don't know, but it was supposed to be. I don't know.
It was a moral victory.
Yeah, it was. When we come back, Kenny Smith, somewhat critical of his colleague Charles Barkley in an open letter. We will read parts of the letter, and then we discuss what the fellas think after the break. Stick around after the break.